Hey everybody, Shawn Foxx. Just a real quick update on me. My breathing is getting a lot better every day, which is good. Still not 100% when it comes to my lung capacity yet, but it's getting better all the time. So that's certainly in the right direction. I have to be at home yet for 2 weeks, isolated. It was pretty interesting, the turnaround, because as I said before, when I was in the hospital, they talked to me about the clinical trial of having plasma transfused with antibodies of COVID-19, which is essentially people who have had COVID-19, got over it, had the antibodies in their bloodstream, and donated the plasma. So I got that transfusion. I went in. Let's see. I went in on a Saturday. I think by Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday, I had the transfusion of plasma. And they said it takes, a couple days to really start to take effect. Well, it did, because by Thursday, all my blood work was looking really, really good. I was off the forced oxygen. I was off the added oxygen. I was off of everything. So I was basically just kind of convalescing there at the hospital, without any sort of help breathing, which was certainly a good feeling, because I don't care who you are when you have this, because you hear all the news reports, you hear about people who have passed because of COVID-19. You hear about how difficult it is to breathe. Um, I'm not gonna lie. There were times where I really thought that if I were to go, my family would be left behind, and I would have to maybe watch from the great beyond as they suffer um, the loss of me. Those were imaginations that I had, because at some point, you know how bad this is. At some point, the COVID-19, it killed people, and it's still doing that. And by the way, these aren't numbers that you see when the governor talks about who is positive, or we lost another 5 Iowans or whatever. No, these are people with families. These were people who were fine one day, and then the next they were gone. So yes, this is something you take very, very seriously. And those were the kind of thoughts that I had going through my head a couple of different times. And I had to shake that, because that's not a positive way to thinking, certainly. But there were moments where I had that thought. So I'm doing a lot better now. That transfusion did wonders. In fact, by Thursday, when all my labs came back and my blood work looked good, the doctor came in and said, "Actually, it's pretty impressive how you've turned around." He said, "I didn't expect you to be able to be out of here by the weekend, much less today," which was last Thursday. So he was impressed about how this turned around. Big proponent for the antibodies in the plasma, because it certainly works. Now, I know the trials have said sometimes it doesn't really do much for some people. It does great things for others. It's hit or miss, just like this COVID-19 with everybody. Everybody reacts to it differently. We have a lot of the same similarities of symptoms, things like that, but each person is just a little bit different, which is why it's so hard to probably find this vaccine, because you got to find a vaccine that kind of works across the board. And this virus doesn't do that. This virus works individually, person by person. So, um, again, I just want to thank everybody for all the time, all the messages and the comments on the pages and stuff like that, because you guys, I'm telling you, you guys really got me through this. You really did. I couldn't believe how many people had to say, "Shawn, we're in your corner. Hey, you're gonna get through this. We're pulling for you. We're praying for you. We're sending you positive vibes." People I've never met, but I love the fact that there's people out there who care about other people enough to take the time out of their day to say something nice, well wish, and honestly, say a prayer or two, or actually spend time in their own energy sending positive vibes. That just shows that the human race is not so far gone that we can't turn around and be better to each other. By the way, my new shirt, be kind, be kind. So anyway, I'm having to sit home again for 2 weeks, which is hard because I'm basically isolated. I see my family in passing for about a minute or so. So after the whole day is done, I've seen my wife and Max a total of maybe 10 minutes each day. So the isolation is also very hard, especially when you deal with depression like I do. So I've had to do a lot of things just to try to keep myself up, positive. I watch a lot of cartoons like Tom and Jerry, and Looney Tunes. So anyway, thank you very, very much for all your well wishes. Thanks for being there. And here within about 10 days, I'm guessing, somewhere in there, 10, 11 days, I should be back on the air. I'll be able to talk to you there and tell you how I'm doing and get back to things semi-normal. Of course, wearing a mask at work, but getting back to semi-normal, playing a forgotten song for you in the afternoon, or figuring out what vinyl I'm going to play for Sunday Night Vinyl. Thanks to Jeff Winfield, who's been filling in and taking care of all that stuff too. He's been doing a great job. He's been having to do double duty because I've been out for so long. And I got to thank everybody at work too, who's been thinking about me, sending me messages, and just kind of holding down my spot until I get better, until I get better enough to go back and do my thing with you guys. So thanks to NRG Media, Mary, and everybody there for hanging out and being there with me. So I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. Be kind, and hopefully we'll talk to you again on the radio here about 10 days or so.